All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, just sitting here drinking my morning coffee, looking sexy as hell as usual. And yeah, get a chat. We had a good coffee chat yesterday. It started really slow, then it picked up. And even got super chats and stuff on the tubes. For those who don't know, though, I'm going to be streaming on both, right? We're going to be streaming on both the tubes and Facebook. And yeah, hopefully we get a nice solid stream here. Hopefully it goes as well as yesterday. That's decent enough. I was happy with that, right? Make sure this is public. Yeah, we're definitely public. Let it run for a minute. We'll get some people in here. A little early. It's 6 a.m. here. So my West Coast people are not going to be in. It's like 4 a.m. And I have a really big West Coast following here in the U.S. Now, obviously, it's been noted. They're like, you don't look nearly as jacked in these as you do the afternoons, right? Because I'm completely fasted in the morning. So once I'm carved up, my arms probably are an inch bigger. I get veins everywhere. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny how that works. But, we'll give everybody a little bit of time to get flowing into here, right? Let everyone flow in. All my regular people. And I'm just going to drink coffee and stuff there in the meantime. Let's put up a bench press video discussing building a 315 bench. Anytime I make one on that topic, those tend to do well. I feel like they're good topics to cover. People want to know that. Like, how do we get to 315 bench? And they'll watch me do reps with it. It's an old dude. I'll pause. I cannot emphasize that enough. And even as a coach, I always tell my clients I want them to pause their bench. And 50% of men will not pause their bench work, no matter what you tell them. And it's very unfortunate. What do you do though, right? They ego lift so much. Even your clients will, and it's hard to get them to do that. When the reality is, man, that pause bench will really build size and strength. Right? It will really build it. But dudes they don't realize that. They can't be convinced of it. They always want to bounce it. And they're a touch and go, but a lot of times it's a bounce and go. Get that butt planted down, get locked in tight, pause those reps. It works. Right? And if you get that technique down and that size down, use it to build your back and triceps right there. All right, coffee went down the wrong hole. Coffee went down the wrong pipe there. Got into my lungs. Yeah. Like I said, these take a little while sometimes to get flowing the way that I like. But, what you got to do. But like I said, it was really good yesterday. Because again, we got good supers and everything out of it. Hey, Merrick, what's up? How you doing? I'm also obviously on the tubes. If you'll drop in there, drop me some questions. Let's get some conversations. Yeah, I appreciate the Facebook like. Dang, that coffee's pretty bad. No, it's just the coffee went down the wrong pipe. Hey, Green Pill, you didn't click like yet. And we know Carol will be in here because he just posted on Facebook too. He'll be in shortly. No, it's just coffee went down my breathing tube. There we go. Views are flowing in. Lives are doing good. Lives did really get good yesterday. That live yesterday got good views, good donations. I'm gonna be doing lots of lives, guys. It's gonna be the name of the game for a while. All right. We're going to do a lot of live streaming, like minimum 3 hours a day, I think, every day. But it's good. It's good for outreach. And like I said, I'm going to discuss real topics now. And I broke down why. Like, I get people who've missed all the memo. I don't feel that I need to type it out for them every time. But it's all haters anyways. I thought you said it's just the same haters making an account. You just get rid of them. No, I have a lot of reasons. I have a lot of both private reasons why I'm willing to discuss certain things now, and then the events from this week, with Charlie. Coaches, man, appreciate a green pill. We off to a good start, man. In fact, supers like that are good for the stream. So that actually kind of makes them kick it in the algorithm more sometimes. Because they're like, oh, because they take a small cut. They're like, everybody's making money. Let's get more people in here. So I appreciate the $2, bro. We did good. Yesterday's coffee chat got like $8 in donations. They add up, right? Pays for the coffee. Yeah, it's like 50 cents a coffee. Not a big deal. I have more brewing. My massive coffee cup. But yeah, well, let's definitely get some conversations going. All right. I want to get some topics. It doesn't have to be just fitness, man. I'll talk about other stuff. I'm just going to say some stuff I don't know. Although it may come to a point where, yeah, I'm not going to ban for people going on to topics that I don't know anything about, but I'm just going to not address them. I think that's better too, because I'm here to help people discuss, and I don't want to look dumb. You know, I do those play dumb sometimes. Well, because they're a topic that I clearly know nothing about. You know, there are topics I have vast knowledge of, and there are topics I have decent knowledge of, and there's topics I literally know nothing about. And I do feel like people realize there's a whole area I know nothing about, and so they'd love to bring it up. And that's stocks and trading, and I have zero. I have less than an entry level knowledge of the topic. I don't even know what words. They're just using weird words. I don't know what equities. I don't even know what that means. That has no meaning to me in terms of video now. But yeah, what you gonna do though? All right. I think the coffee chats I definitely don't want to bust out for the profile too. I've triple dipped on the other stuff, and that was really good. Like that whole one yesterday, that over hour long current events type one, I streamed it on all 3 platforms, so it got respectable views. So I think it's going to be more of that. I'm definitely going to cover that other topic I mentioned today. I think I'm going to do it. Just want to discuss what's going on in the world. Talk about it more. I mean, obviously my fitness content's going to be king, but the lives can be other stuff. Things of interest to me and to the world. You know, things of interest to the world. And yeah. Perhaps do a couple things here, do some other posting since, you know, no one is in here yet. Triple dip, and there we go, green pill. That's more appreciated, man. Yeah. So I'm just double dipping right now. I appreciate the super though. You're pretty much gonna have the number one all the way through this chat, I think, because of that. Since you did those early on, it's gonna be hard for anyone to take that from you. So, but I'm gonna run this stream out a while. I'm gonna run it out a while because anything else I was gonna do, I can literally type posts and other stuff while I'm in here with you guys, can't we? Right? Plus, the longer I stay, the bigger they grow. Ryan, what's going on, Ryan? I'm also on Facebook. But how you doing this morning, Ryan? I'll get you your new sheet coming up here. Ryan's coming along really well. Dropping body fat, the lifts are going up. He's at the all-time lowest body weight I think he's been as an adult. He was over 300 pounds. We're down in we're under 230 now, aren't we? Right? So our goal for Ryan is to get him to 220 this year and to bench 315 at 220 during a continual long-term cut, right? A long-term fat loss to get that bench up to 315 at 100 pounds of weight loss. You know, that just has a nice feel to it, right? Wyoming says, hey, bro, can I ask you a quick question? You just did. You just asked me a quick question. Would you like to ask me another one? yeah. But that's a solid type of goal to be like, okay, to bench 315 when I'm at 100 pounds of fat loss and weight loss. Right? I mean, that's pretty hardcore. So that's what we're going to get him to. So he's posting over on Facebook because we're double streaming here. But YM, you said, hey bro, can I ask you a quick question? Well, that is a quick question. So I don't know. Did you want to ask me a second one? Your intermediate program you put out years ago is pretty much what you do nowadays, 3 days, big lifts, and work the reps up. Sort of. Except I have other supplemental stuff. I'm gonna double down on just triceps like crazy though. Right. Well, right now they're not. When I'm all carved up in the afternoon ones, because it's still dark out, I'm not flipping all the lights on. You know, they look way different. Obviously, once I'm carved up in the afternoon chats, they're all striated with veins the size of my pinky all over everything. But I'm fasted still. It's morning time. But I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat, and then once I hit that food, it's like just like massive. My ninja Jason's forearms. It's like my ninja. Looking like the map of California freeway systems. Keno body go. Can Keno booty teabag you? No, homie, don't play that, dude. No, man. I think you got me twisted for somebody else, dude. Carol says, like hit it. I appreciate that like. Bro, I'm like the only one here. Stop being. What are you talking about? Sad incel. So YM, you are aware. You are aware I've literally had a stripper girlfriend who was on my channel, right? Like I've dated dancers and stuff. Former stripper at least. Right? We used to work out together. She lived with me. I have 2 ex-wives. I've been married twice. I don't think I meet the qualifications for incel. Right? Right. Well, I say 2. I have a deceased wife. My first wife is passed. But my second wife is, my second ex-wife is still alive. She was I don't know what a munter. What's a munter? I'm going to have to go look this up. What's a munter? Urban Dictionary. What? No, she wasn't unattractive. Come on. What are you talking about? I don't know. Who's that? Did you not let me group post for a moment? How can I get more poo nanny? Dude wants to know how to get more poo nanny. Talk to girls, right? Yeah, Brian says we're getting it done. He's also from work there. Yeah, I mean you work some extra hours this week, right? No, I'm not saying the N word for you, dude. Dude, I don't drop in bombs, man. Again, you think you have me twisted for someone else? But no, Green Pill. Why don't you try talking to them? Like that's the key, man. Where are you? You don't politically. I would describe myself as a right-leaning moderate, close to libertarian. Yeah, I know he wants my channel striked. I'm not going to go into thoughts on Israel. No, I don't want to get into this type of controversy. I mean, I'll discuss current events, but I don't want to get into whole topics. I don't even know what you're looking for, right? You know, my thoughts on Israel. It has a right to exist as a country. That's my thoughts on it. You know, that alone is apparently a controversial position. You know, oh Lord. So here he goes. There he goes. Good move to incorporate pendlay rows or always add ways to, yeah. I mean, they helped with mine in the past a lot. So I was living on axle bar rows and pendlay rows in general when I first cracked my deadlift up into the 600s, right? Because I came in and just did it out of nowhere. It was like I hadn't pulled 600 plus in over a decade, right? And I walked in and just pulled 615, some kind of surprise followers. And then we built that up from there. Because I did that 625 at a charity event, and then I did 635 at home. Yeah, rows helped me a lot. They help all my lifts. I need the extra effort back. I just got to figure. I want to work pull-ups back in, but I got to make sure I can handle all the workload. My morning's going good. It's 6:20 in the morning. I've already made video, done some posting. We're doing a coffee chat. We already got super chats in here. Good morning, all. How you doing, Ashley, over on Facebook? Yeah, Ryan, you still in here, man? Any comments are good. Ryan's tired. Ryan's one of my clients. Ryan has now lost over 90 pounds of body weight, and we have him closing in on a 315 bench. So trying to get him down to 220. He was 320. Goal is to get to 220 this year, bench 315. I'd like to get him deadlifting 500. We're real close to a 500 deadlift, too. Kung Lao says, pendlays are good for the deadlift. Do you think seal rows are equal? Okay, now that's a nuanced question. All right. I love seal rows, by the way. I've done tons of them on camera. And I go heavy on seal rows. Like, I'm no slouch on the seal row. You guys have watched me do reps with like 235 on a strict seal row on the bench. I love seal rows. Okay. The pendlay row is going to have better deadlift carryover. Literally for the reason, no, I'm not Jewish. I'm actually Slavic. So I'm actually Czech. Yashamash. Look at my last name. My last name literally means good in Czech. So here's the thing. Seal rows are great because they take the lower back out and let you focus on the middle and upper back. With the pendlay row, you still have a little bit of hip drive. It puts tension on the posterior chain, and it teaches you to pull while still using that similar technique that you do on the start of a deadlift. So the deadlift carryover is fantastic. It's going to have way better carryover. I like the movie Borat, but I will say I could make the joke that there was cultural appropriation because he stole a traditional greeting in my ethnic language of my ancestors and family, because that's a textbook Czech greeting in Yashamash. It's like, hello, how you doing? It's like the equivalent. And so he stole that, and it was talking about it being from Kazakhstan. So he was actually speaking Czech. Right. I mean, it was a funny movie, but still, he went a little far with it, I think. At the time, it was, the internet and shot culture from the internet didn't exist like it does today, right? When that came out. So again, it was a different era. So it was considered to be a very controversial movie at the time. Right. Very controversial movie. Ryan says, today is active recovery. The same for me. I'm going to do maybe an hour on my bike, and that's going to be all my training. I'm not going to do any other lifting. I don't even want to do any band work because I'm kind of like, I'm going to hammer my triceps hard 3 days a week. I don't want to be doing band work on the off days. I need to let them rest. Like, I still feel my triceps from Friday, right? A little bit. I'm going to push those extensions real hard, though. That's what I need. I'll get my bench up, I feel like, at this point. I want to get past that 350. How about the Ali G show? Ali G as in Booyakasha, yo, check this. It's none other than your main man, Ali G. That show, I remember that. That was forever ago. No, Ali G was kind of funny. Ali G was funny. I don't know. Your age is showing, Green Pill. Your age is showing. You're like me. You're older. You're definitely over 40. You even know about those shows. You're over 40. I almost guarantee it. All right. How could you even know about those? Because that was like on MTV, I think, wasn't it? I could be wrong. I think it was MTV. Man, slow reviews in this coffee chat, but at least we got supers, so that's all good. We can run it out a while, though. Like I said, I don't have anything else really going that's a big deal. You know? Not really a big deal. Are you planning on making a tier list video of the top 3,875 for the biceps, right? That's what we need. We need to make a tier video. The top 17 bicep exercises. And it's funny that they're calling this evidence-based because if you went pure, like if you looked at nothing but studies, if you looked at nothing but studies and you looked at every hypertrophy study you could find, right? You look at every single hypertrophy study that you could possibly find, like you have found all 30 of them that look at the biceps throughout the world. What would you conclude about biceps? Like you didn't use any real world experience, no anecdote. You literally used nothing but scientific studies. Where would you rate bicep exercises? Right? Back when MTV was playing music, right? Is MTV still even around? I don't even know if they're around anymore. Yeah, they did tons of music videos when I was a kid. It was almost all music videos when I was a kid. Right? A couple little shows, but the shows all had music videos. All the shows had music videos in them, like playing the normal videos, whether it was Headbangers Ball or Beavis and Butthead. But if you went only off of studies, you would conclude that you don't have to do curls at all. If you only looked at scientific research, and I'm not saying this is the case, but if you literally used nothing but studies, nothing else, you would conclude that lat pull downs and pull ups and weighted chin ups are the best bicep builders, better than curls. If you only looked at scientific studies and nothing else, right? Isn't that what everyone would conclude? Do curls ever beat vertical pulling for hypertrophy or muscle activation in the research itself? They're either inferior or equal every single time. The only thing they beat is rows. Do you watch any Dr. Mike's tutorials? Not really. I have points of contention with Mike. I mean, you'll see some of his stuff sometimes, not that often anymore. What's up, Jason? Is it best to PCT after test primo or go cold turkey or cruise? Probably cruise. I'm not a fan of PCT is arguably not even useful. How useful it is a point of major contention. And I think people forget, they even try to do these PCT protocols while the drugs are not even out of their system. But I'm also on Facebook, so we're not going to go into a lot of that. I'm streaming on Facebook too, dudes. So, no, you buy them. You buy them. I did get a free shirt, but I forgot to get it at one of the events. All right. I forgot to pick it up. No, I have like 5 of their shirts. I bought like 5 of them a few years back. I have them in 3 different colors, actually. I have like 3 of the black ones. So I like black. Because when I was arrested, I was dressed in black, like Johnny Cash said. You guys know Cocaine Blues, right? Right. Johnny Cash was pretty gangster. If you go back, it's like, man, that's almost like some gangster rap from the 60s. Right? Go listen to Cocaine Blues. Right? It's a better plan to focus on biceps, triceps will grow fine doing back movements, right? Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I do feel like as far as the shoulder health, I need to just leave the biceps alone. I was doing no bicep work when I had those beautiful overhead pressing, and my arms were bigger than they are now. So I think just hammering triceps can be the way to go. Because that's what did get my bench up eventually, was the tricep work too. Is testicular atrophy a major concern? I suppose I don't have that problem. So it's not a side effect I generally get historically, whether from gear in the past or TRT. And I'm not saying that as some sort of defensive or bragging. I just literally don't have that problem. I don't know what the statistical probability is because a lot of these don't discuss it enough. Like, I don't know what the percentage is of how many guys get it. Whether it's 10%, 20%, 30%, I don't know. It's a fairly common side effect. And it could be as high as like 30%. Right? I don't know because dudes don't discuss it enough. But if I were to say, like, from clients of mine as an example, who either use gear or TRT, I would put it at maybe, if I only, because that's my N equals 1. So if I only went off of clients who discussed it with me, or people I've done consultations with, maybe 10%, right? Maybe 10% of those people, like, it was something we discussed at all. Why do you care about that? I don't have advice for you guys on that. I'm really the wrong person to ask. Like, you'll get people who ask comments like that, and I'm really not the person to give you advice. My advice would be, don't be born with a small dick. I mean, that's the best advice I can give you. That's what I did. Like, that was my solution to these problems. And people are like, feel insecure about my penis. Like, you get them here. I'm like, well, just be born with a big dick like I was. And your problem goes away. Pick your parents better. That's the only advice I can give you, dudes. Sorry. And it's not like there aren't nudes of me out there to confirm it, realistically. 40 to 60% of users experience testicular atrophy. Wow, I'm surprised it's that high, Alan. I'm surprised it's that high. Yeah, that's my advice to the dudes who discuss those things. I don't know, just don't have a small dick. I can't help you there. Right? I have no way to relate to your experience. I'm really the wrong person to ask. Because I do get people who bring those things up in chats. That quit quite some time back, though. Finally. When did you realize, oh, wait, yeah, he reached the wrong desk. All right. That's like asking me, hey, how do I cope with having a really weak deadlift? Wrong dude to ask. I don't know what that's like. I've never had less than a 400 deadlift. Like when I've spent that year in bed and had to learn to walk again, while I still was walking with a cane, I got my deadlift up to 315 within a month while walking with a cane still. I mean, after learning to walk again, pretty much. So I have no idea. I have no concept of that either. Yeah, Alan, I'm surprised it's that high. I'm surprised it's that high. I mean, it could be. Mustafa says, I did 112.5 kg. We just call 112 kilograms for 12 reps on Friday. And today I only managed 9 reps with 115. Yeah, but you added weight. So you added weight to the bar and you lost reps 2 days later. Let me explain how that works, Mustafa. Heavier weight equals less reps. Right? It's a very straightforward concept. But you're still in the same range. You're in the same range. So it's all good, man. It's all good in the hood. Right? It's all good, man. It got a little slow in here again. We had some good little chats going. Got real quiet. Yeah. 40 to 60 years. That's like half. That's half of users experience it. Yeah. I wonder how they gathered that data. This is someone who coaches and does consultation and stuff on this topic. It's just not that common. I'm surprised it's that high. I really am. Fortunately for me, I'm not one of them. I'm very prone to water retention and stuff, though. I get boofy as a mofo. I'm prone to high blood pressure too. Like, so for me, that's what I have to really watch. So for me, in the past, the highest side effects were high blood pressure is a big one. I'm very susceptible to that. I would much rather have testicular atrophy than high blood pressure from historical gear use. I could pick. All right. Boofiness. My face gets boofy. Another reason I'm kind of like, it's obvious I don't blast gear these days. I don't have the face boof. All right. Literally in the normal testosterone range. Good healthy place to be. Mustafa, calculators are useless past about 4 reps. They get it insanely inaccurate. Right. I don't know why you're messing with that higher reps all the time, though, man. You get so much stronger if you put some weight on the bar. Yeah. So why are you even using calculators when you're high repping? You wasted effort, wasted time, because there's so much fatigue you're generating anyways. You're going to be tired session to session. Man, the tubes got super quiet. It was a bit lively in here, then it died down a little. Everyone's quiet. I'm good after 2 year very hard sets, right? I mean, yeah. Do 2 hard sets will be okay. It's 6 sets a week. That's enough to work with. Right? You could do 3 and still be okay, but obviously you're going to want to not do any other chest work in that case. But that's a fair amount. I mean, 9 sets of hard sets of benching a week for chest is a lot. Especially if it's all pause. It's plenty of chest work. I'm going to go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back with coffee. Still no new comments going on in here. Everything hurts when I add a lot of weight. We're probably not used to it. Well, so why don't you just start overloading and do it over several weeks? Mustafa, so just start adding weight. Add 2.5 kg every workout and just bring the reps down. That way, that works perfectly fine. Completely viable approach. Yep. Yes, you're averaging 10 hards at 10 hard. That's a lot. That's a lot. Thank you. There you go. Oh, man. So now you're the only one talking. Nobody's talking on the tubes. It's all Facebook now. We had tons and then they just kind of quit. Got likes though. Some of the regulars aren't in there yet. We haven't seen Rufio or Peppermint or anybody. They might not have gotten the memo, but they might still. And nothing preventing me from sitting in here and doing more. All right. It's all good. I'll just post memes. I'll post memes in between. Make that money one way or another. Drop kick says, hey, coach, is that a normal size coffee? No, it's a massive coffee cup, dude. This is a big coffee cup. Right? I mean, look at that. And my big deadlift hands, the size of that cup is massive. I drink a lot of coffee in the morning. All right, this is my second cup just on camera. My third cup of the day. I drank a full one of those before we started this coffee chat. I went and refilled it once. Yeah, no, that's a big cup, dude. I take my coffee drinking seriously home, Skillet. 2 sets of overhead extension of price, maybe. Yeah, so what that overhead stuff will create potentially long head DOMs, which will impact that benching near the end, especially your limit sets. It'll fatigue them on the last couple of reps a lot. Right? Your long head gets used more and more as you get real close to failure. I'm feeling my triceps today though. And those extensions, I haven't done any of those extensions like that in a couple months. So I was surprised I was still that strong. I got through full plate on each side of the bar and cranked out 10 reps. Granted, it's a curl bar, but still. Still 110 pounds. But I need to build that up. I want to build that up. Adding weight too fast. You have an unhealthy, what do you mean you have an unhealthy relationship with the bench, Mustafa? You're not adding weight. You're doing nothing but ultra high reps. You don't have an unhealthy thing with adding weight too fast. Mustafa, you're lifting lightweight. You're still benching lightweight. Add weight every session for the next month. Get up to 3 plates. You're strong enough to do reps with 3 plates, at least a double. Minimum, if not more. Is that a normal size? You can see the cup and tell it's not normal size. Drop kick. Come on now. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. You already know. So yeah, well, I mean, for a little bit, you do 2.5 every workout if you want. So yeah, it could get up to that. Right? Carbs make you look leaner. I've noticed. I don't know about that. I look leaner when I'm on low carb, but when I'm fasted versus carved up, yeah, it's different. Like, yeah. Not necessarily the stomach though. My waistline looks way leaner if I'm on low carbs. Yeah. Yep. But I look smaller in the mornings fasted. So it's like once I have good lighting, the sun's up, and I carb up in the afternoons because I do my fasting, then everyone's like, wow, your arms look way bigger. And I get the veins running all up the biceps. And I don't have any of that in the morning. Yeah. Saw a new study, probiotics burn fat better than fat burning supplements, which could still be not at all. Fat burning supplements don't actually work really. So, and how detailed is this study? I'm going to go with probably not on either. I mean, hypothetically, I guess better gut health could make you slightly leaner. Everyone around me has a huge ego, avoids the bench, and then randomly decides to do a single on it, and they tear. Yeah, but they're not using good form. And then overuse. You got to think about their gear stacks, the overuse. So think about that too. So what steroid is most notorious for causing tendon ruptures these days? Tren, right? Tren. So they're possibly using Tren. They have overuse of their pecs because they're doing 15, 20 sets of chest work on a chest day or something, right? And then they go do sloppy form on an ego lifting max. Have you thought about taking rich? No. Why would I? Why would I? Any of those fat burning peptides, when you come off, you start bouncing back. So what's the point? You just burn your body fat off the normal way, diet, cardio, and that way it's more sustainable anyways. Don't get in a big hurry to get leaner, and you don't have these problems, people. No, I don't want to. I don't want to try a bunch of experimental drugs at this point. I'm okay with a replacement dose of test, just TRT. I'd consider a little growth again eventually. That's about it. For me, that's about as far as I'm willing to go with anything. I'm not wanting to mess with a bunch of experimental drugs. You know, like I said, these days I'm cool with pretty much what I've done this whole year is just test, just replacement dose. I'm still big. I got good strong numbers, making progress. YHGH, tendon, because I'm older. The tendon benefits, right? Builds better connective tissue, slight recomposition. Yeah, I mean that's why everyone uses it, right? I mean, I get why bodybuilders use it in very high doses for a synergy with their gear, but outside of that, that's why you take it, right? Healing tendon growth, so on and so forth. Possibly a little skin tightening, but generally most athletes use it for the tendon and connective tissue benefits. That's why they use it, right? Everyone knows this, right? This is common knowledge, I would assume. To me, this is just common knowledge that I just assume everyone who works out knows. Like if you've been in the game any length of time, I would just assume by default that you know that it's stuff that everyone talks about. Well, you can cut down. You're pretty lean already, Mustafa. You could just focus on just training and just focusing on just improving body composition further, lean gains. Everything's going to be slow. Like you need to be clear, other than your legs, which we know are a weak link, everything's going to be slow that you do. You're too lean to drop body fat fast. You're too big to gain muscle fast unless you do a big blast. So, you know, the word slowly is assumed by default with anything that you do from where you are. Do you think marijuana will hinder gains or performance if used every day at nighttime? Possibly, right? Possibly. It hurts motivation. Are you smoking it? So you say using. Are you smoking it or are you talking about taking cannabinoids, edibles? Like if you're smoking it, you're killing yourself anyway. Smoking is deadly. Smoking will hurt your performance, your gains, your cardiovascular health. I don't care what you smoke. So let's be clear on that. So what method of administration? Yeah, yeah. No, you're hurting your gains. You're also killing yourself. So let's just be honest. If you smoke stuff, anything, I don't care if it's tobacco or weed every night, you don't really care about your health or your gains. Let's just do what I mean, dude. Just admit it. Don't lie to yourself and just admit that that's the case, right? You don't really care. Is that fair? You kind of pretending like you do, but you really don't. You don't really care about your health or fitness. And just be honest about it, you know? But you smoke stuff at night. You put smoke and tar into your lungs at night. You don't really care about your health and fitness. I'm tough love, by the way. I'm a coach. Keep that in mind. All right. But why are you doing something that's going to hinder your gains? That's going to kill your health. It's going to kill you ultimately. And it's hurting your gains, particularly your work capacity. So why are you doing it? I would personally recommend you quit. And I'm like that with my clients. Just like I've had a client who does coke every Friday night, and I tell them the same thing. You know, you getting drunk and doing blow on every Friday night is a problem. it is affecting your gains and your health. But I just tell them that straight up. Jack Sprint, would you recommend bike riding to complement leg development? No. Look, bike riding is good cardio. Realistically, normal bike riding is not going to significantly improve this. Not compared to your lifting or any really high intensity stuff. Some sled work could complement it. But normal just bike riding, probably not. Performance contradiction. There you go, Luke. Performative contradiction, right? Right. Yeah. I need to tidy all this up. I need to shave my neck. I might let this, my psoriasis, my skin's doing a little better. I might just trim this down real close up top. I need to shave my neck this morning. That's got to be sorted at the very least. Can't be running around with a neck beard. How much cardio will affect leg muscle gains? That's not a. I mean, I do cardio every day and I have big legs and big squat. I run 3 days a week and I do lifts on my bike 7 days a week. I have pretty jacked legs. Right. So, I mean, I run a 5K 3 times a week and I do an hour on my bike every day. So, do you use any medication for psoriasis? I find hydrocortisone is the only thing that's ever helped. Do I ever get blood work done? On occasion. I don't put it all up online. I put it up before, though. All right. People, has noted my fasting glucose is insanely low generally. So I laughed. I had some people tell me, if you eat so many carbs, like on my Facebook, you must be insulin insensitive. My fasting glucose is below the reference range. Like, no, I don't think so. That's weird. Why do people think that eating carbohydrates makes you insulin resistant? That is so stupid. I'm not saying there aren't carbohydrates, specific carbohydrates, mainly refined sugars, but brown rice and sweet potatoes has never made anybody insulin resistant in the history of the world. You can't eat enough of it for this to occur. Plus, it doesn't have that liver impact. It's just glucose, guys. So weird. Saturated fat will make you insulin resistant. Refined fructose will make you insulin resistant. That's pretty well documented. Thought it was weird. I don't eat any of the foods that we see in the lab cause insulin resistance. I don't eat them. They're not in my diet. People still say that nonsense. Alcohol. I'm not 100% sure of that. I guess you can, yeah, if you get enough of it, because there's metabolic health benefits on the liver. So, Eddie Hall used a hyperbaric chamber with pressurized oxygen. He slept in there. He said 1 hour sleeping there is equivalent. Okay. So listen to the latter claim and think about how stupid that is. If he actually uttered that statement, you can objectively say that Eddie is a fucking moron. Like, no question about it. Like, if he said that is anything but a joke. Let me be clear, Inspired. If Eddie Hall uttered that statement as anything but intending as a joke, you now know for a fact that he is a complete, absolute fucking moron. Right? Is that a fair statement? Unless he was joking, if he was serious, we can fairly make that conclusion. No, it's not just stupid. It is fucking stupid. There's a difference. Like, there's a difference. Like, there are degrees of stupidity. So you know that he is a really stupid person based upon that. Right? To even utter a line that stupid is anything but a joke. It's just not clowning. Now, he may have been clowning people. He might have meant it as he was just messing with you as a joke, because he does some comedy stuff, right? But to say that it's the equivalent, really? Also, why is a guy on heavy doses of gear in the hyperbaric chamber? You do realize that's potentially deadly. Okay, why do people sleep in those chambers? Right? Again, this is risky. Yeah. Yeah, it must have been sold that someone making money off him because he's done right. Looking lean, coach. Thank you, Limitless. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean, but I can't handle that level of stupid to say something like that. That is the equivalent. Do people not know how the brain and REM cycles and things work? This is basic. Like, I get it if you've dropped out of high school at age 15 and never taken any biology, but this is, I just can't. Who do you think was the smartest pilot? I have no idea. I have no idea. How do we answer that? Do we go through an IQ test every one of them to figure out where they are? I don't know. I know multiple medical doctors who compete in strength sports. I know multiple people with PhDs in strength sports. So you see what I mean? I don't know how to answer that. I have no clue. So, but yeah, to say something that dumb, I just can't. I just can't, man. Is Mike Menzer overrated? Mike Menzer was extremely overrated. Like, Mike Menzer shouldn't be a topic today. Okay. It's not like Mike Menzer trained anyone. None of his philosophies produced any bodybuilding champions. The stuff he wrote later, none. He didn't train the way that he promoted. He didn't have any modern science or equipment to measure stuff. Why is he even a topic of conversation? I mean, I could at least see Menzer being relevant if he trained a bunch of Olympia competitors. Like, if his philosophies and his stuff that he put out later, produced 10 different people and he trained a bunch of guys who were up on the Olympia platform, there would at least be something. But there's not. His whole thing was bodybuilding, yet he didn't train any real champions. He didn't train the way that he promoted later. He didn't personally do any of that when he was competing. So why is he relevant? Why are people still discussing it generations later? I don't think people understand how far back that was. It's again, we didn't have modern equipment to measure stuff in the body. Right? Right? We didn't have computers in our house. Like, you didn't have home computers when he was writing all that stuff. Like, you didn't have this stuff. I'm not even talking about the internet. You didn't have a computer with a hard drive in your house. Your family didn't. It didn't. We were not at that technology level yet. Training to failure is a great method. Sure. But he didn't promote training to failure. He promoted training past failure. So do you see the point? We know training past failure doesn't necessarily produce great muscle mass. Menzer promoted intensity techniques after failure. Not the same thing, is it? But I appreciate the like review. Appreciate the like, brother. So what do you do? Oh, man. Do you think Tom Platz was just genetic? So why are you hung up on the 80s so much inspired? Interesting. Like, that wasn't even the greatest era in bodybuilding, man. Why are we hung up on this? You think Tom Platz is just genetically gifted and he didn't train past failure? He may have. I mean, how much do we really know about Tom Platz's training at this point? A long time ago. A lot of contradicting information. No. Right. Well, Tom Platz obviously was genetically gifted in the legs. Right. Oh, okay. So you don't watch my actual videos, do you? All right, I just realized that. Okay. You don't actually watch all my informative content. So you're not familiar with my position on intensity techniques. Tom Platz is on high doses of drugs. That matters. Okay. If you're drug-free or you're between blasts, they're a complete waste of time. Now, if you're on a blast of gear and you up your dose significantly, they may help. Now, they may come at the expense of injuries, but they may help. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So because you asked that question, you used a pro bodybuilder and Olympia competitor. So we need to understand that point. So those extended sets and I've broken down the biology of why. I've done really detailed videos on that. So, I don't know. There's a point where I don't want to stand around and speculate about the training of pro bodybuilders, though, because I'm not a fan of pro bodybuilding, and I don't think people should use huge amounts of anabolics. This is not what I'm about. All right. So now we're getting into the hypothetical training of guys blasting to win the Mr. Olympia. Well, I don't know that this is particularly valuable information for people. Right. Seth, somewhere in Canada. What? I don't know. I don't care, Seth. I don't care what Ken Booty does with other dudes. The monk says, hello, coach. Any advice on rehabbing sprained hamstring or preventing them? I got my right one years ago. No, because I don't know how you sprained it. Right. This is too generic of information, so I don't have any advice. Again, this is consultation level. I need your training history, how you injured it, what's going on with it. This is not something we can cover in a live stream. Have you talked to a physical therapist? You know, be my next question. Kind of relevant to the conversation. Oh man, I gotta shake that neck after this. That looks awful. All right. Coach looking like a neck beard. We can't be having all that, not on the camera. Sure, no problem. A year ago, it was from overstretch on a deadlift, and yesterday it was the beginning of an ascent on a low bar squat. I don't know. What does your posterior chain work look like? Because it could be a hamstring weakness, but it could also be some overuse, right? If DECA, are you using knee wraps or knee sleeves, by the way? Are you using knee wraps, the monk? If DECA makes joints feel good, can you injure yourself and not realize it until you come off cycle, or is it not? It's not that powerful. No. It helps with that synovial fluid a little bit, but it's not like a miracle thing. It's not that strong. You know, so if you're having any issues with a history of hamstring issues like that, and you're doing that squat with a knee wrap, we know the culprit. Good morning, Jason. I was actually barefoot running, but I feel like I was chewing my feet up pretty good. How long do you think it would take? A couple of days, man. It takes a few days. It's going to take you a couple of weeks to adapt to it, though, completely. I mean, I do it 3 times a week. But that first few days, man, it was rough. That first week, my feet hurt like hell. All right. I was using sleeves. They were tighter than I'm used to. Okay. Posterior chain work consisted of low bar squats leading into comp and single leg hamstring curls. And deadlifts. Yeah. A lot to unpack. All right. Yeah, I think that tighter sleeve than you're used to, you're going to have to work into those a little more carefully. That may have been the factor, especially if you do a really wide stance, low bar, right? You got to watch them sleeves. What's your drug stack? Not like your real name is on here. I've been deadlifting without a belt for about 6 years now. Do you think it's best to not use one if you don't feel you need it? Overall help, breaking plateaus. I don't want to become dependent. No, I mean, if you don't want to wear the belt, don't wear the belt. It could help you push past. But if you don't want to wear the belt, then it's not a big deal. If you're comfortable without it and don't want to do it, it's entirely personal. I deadlifted without a belt for years. I've pulled 605 without a belt on camera before. But I prefer to use my belt these days. I just want to get the most neural drive I can. No stack, and my name is Ryan. Okay, just bought some TV and BBC as soon as it happened, per the advice of a bodybuilder friend who healed. Yeah, that'll probably help a lot. That will probably resolve it pretty quick. But maybe I don't have an exact number, but I probably get at least 10 pounds out of the belt, maybe more. All right. I probably get 10 to 20 pounds out of a belt on the deadlift. I get like 50 out of it on a squat, I feel like. All right. I transitioned to the belt just because I knew I'd be able to lift a little heavier. right? I haven't played any video games in years. I'm actually fairly anti-video game at this point in my life. I think it destroys productivity in men. I'm just not a fan. I generally advise guys to avoid video games unless they can moderate them. Right? Unpopular opinion. I've had dudes get really upset by that on Facebook when I say that. I'm like, dude, it's just advice, guys. Don't take it as a personal attack. And they get super defensive. You know, they get super defensive. How dare you? Like Greta, how dare you? I last played Skyrim a few years back. That's for me. It's been a few years. Skyrim was the last game I played. But I really quit when you gave me the advice to quit. To this day, I've been more productive. Yeah, absolutely. Objectively fair opinion is someone who games too much. Anything that artificially feeds into the brain dopamine feedback is pretty much terrible for you. Yeah. Yep. Afternoon, Coach. What's up, Lars? It's morning for me. It's 7:15. The sun's just now coming up. It was dark when I started this chat. I might wind this one down here soon. We did get a couple little supers, but I like running those afternoon ones really long. That turned out pretty well. Got strong views, decent donations. But the coffee chats are good. This is 2 coffee chats in a row. I got minor donations in addition to outreach. Do you think the idea that testosterone will make you more confident is overhyped? I felt it. No, I think it can. I think it can make you more confident. But it's also going to be dependent on personality and other stuff. It's not going to do it for everybody. It's going to do it for everyone. It's 14. Just 216. You're over there in Europe. Are you on a low dose? You might be on a low dose. I'm just on a replacement dose, but I'm probably just confident anyways. I'm a confident person. And now I'm scratching my nose because it itches. That's not a tell. People are like, he touched his nose when he said that. He lied. What's a replacement dose? Anything that puts you between 400 and 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. All right, a replacement dose is a dose that puts you inside the reference range on your blood work, and it's not the same from person to person. Some guys running gear like 180 pounds unreal. I wonder if those guys have confidence from the test stack. I don't know. Any good supplements out there for runners? You take I put potassium in all my water and all my food. Like I put potassium salt in those rice dishes. I've listened to Broderick Chavez a lot recently. He seems very knowledgeable. Do you respect us? I do, but I also am concerned with heart risk. The longer I look at the idea of really keeping that E2 so low the way guys do, I don't know. I think he gets a lot of stuff right on the gear, though. Good place to source. No salt or any of the equivalents. All those potassium salts, right? They're just, you can get them in the grocery store. You can get them online. They're regular. So if you go look at the salt substitutes, go find the ones that are potassium, right? I add them to my rice. I cook with them. And I add a little potassium citrate to my water, my big jugs of water with a little bit of flavoring. Potassium is your friend, my guys. Do you think we'll see any more political assassinations this year? It will not surprise me at all. At this point, Rufio, it will not surprise me. Do you find with potassium supplementation in rice your muscle cramps, Lisa heard? I don't really get muscle cramps for the most part. But my fatigue management's good. My electrolytes are good, possibly a factor. My diet is really high in potassium anyways. Like, I probably never get less than 6 grams of potassium a day. I'm not taking that much. I think I've just taken like one of my extra strengths at the moment, if I remember to take it. I don't take it every day. Some days I'll take up to 3 of the extra strengths and forget for a week. I don't know. I have just not on my priority list. Coach, do you have any advice for former young girl how to think, prepare? Yeah, you're already fucked if you're worried about that. If you're already worried about how to prepare and all this and you're stressing it and you just can't be natural in yourself, you just probably need to move on. It's not going to work. You guys overstress this stuff. It's okay. Here's my advice. Don't stress stuff like this. That's the worst thing you can do. I mean, you're already fucked. The fact that you're needing to ask advice on this and you're stressed this one's you're already going to crash and burn. You're done. So just write this one off and wait for the next one. I agree with Richard. He's cooking. It's already done. Yeah, you already done messed up. You're already stressed. It's not going to work. I agree. He's cooked. Too late. So wait for the next one and don't be stressed. Perfect advice. Don't think about what you're doing. Just do whatever you do. If she doesn't like you, yeah. Because if you can't just be yourself, then it's not going to work anyways. So if you have to act different than you would every single day of your life, this is a problem because she's going to be attracted to a fake personality. She's not a match for you. And if she is a match for you and you're now putting on a fake persona for her, you fucked yourself. Because she's not going to be attracted to like if she would be a perfect match for the real you and a good match for your personality, if you put on a fake face, she's not going to like it. Oh, this is not the right guy for me. You need to just be yourself. And if she's a good match for you, it'll all work out. And if she's not, then she's not. Move on, dude. There's 3 billion women in the world, you know? You'll find a good match. I sometimes have hand sweat, and she says she wants to hold hands. You know? Well, wipe your hands off, dude. Look, so here, just wipe your hands before you reach over and grab her hand, right? Wipe your hands, reach over and grab the hand, man. It's not a big deal. Come on. Yeah. Great advice. Just chalk up before you get that way. That's right, man. That's right. Put some liquid grip on there. Yeah. Just wipe your hands off, dude. Come on. Oh, man. Well, Melissa drop a super for that. No, just wipe your hands, man. You're good, dude. You're good. Be yourself. Just look. And everyone, notice all the other guys are saying the same thing. Just be yourself, dude. Be yourself, man. And if she's a good match, your normal personality will be attracted to her. You ever try Cialis? I took one the first time with a girl. I went for like an hour. I've done Levitra. So I had an ex. We used to use Levitra every now and then if we wanted like an all night, like 3-4 hour. I would take like half a Levitra. I've never done Cialis. I have a bunch. I was given some for free. I've never used. So I actually have some Viagra and Cialis tucked away that was given to me for free that I still haven't used. I've had them for like 3 or 4 years. So I do have some. I've never actually taken it. Yeah. But I had an ex who she used to get Levitra sometimes, and so we would take like half of one. But that's like if you wanted to go like 5 or 6 times in one night, right? Like if you want to just finish 5 times and keep going, it works great. But everybody's sore from that. It's not like you're going to do that often. Occasional thing, No. That's how I go. Well, sometimes monk is you gotta have a little bit of pain. But that's been a long time, and rest in peace to her. She is no longer with us. So, all right. What else you got? Blue Chew. Those Blue Chew ads are ridiculous. I see them on Facebook. If you want a girl like me, it's like, oh my God. Man. Guests shouldn't need all those things. Those are done just occasional for fun. Like you need to, if you're in shape and fit, you shouldn't be a problem anyways. I appreciate the donation, Limitless. I have no idea how much that is in dollars. But thank you. Appreciate it. I'm actually curious. SEK. Oh, Swedish kroner. Is that a Swedish kroner? What is that? Yeah. I'm actually curious. I'm actually curious. Okay, a couple of dollars. Yeah, because it didn't hit the thingy, so I knew it was, yeah. It's a Swedish kroner. Yeah. I've dated a Norwegian girl before. I learned a little bit of it from her. Since förstår du norsk? It's like, nej, jag förstår inte norsk. Yeah, all good, man. Yeah, and I knew it was only a couple because it's like it didn't hit the little $5 things. Okay, cool. That's a little over $2. Appreciate it, man. All good, brother. Those add up. That's like the third one I got in this chat. Yeah. This coffee chats are just kind of trucking along with that. Plus, I get views and subscribers, so they're good because I'm streaming on both platforms too. That's the beauty of it. We're on Facebook also. So. Cool, man. I've been in here over an hour. I think I'm going to wind it down. I'm not a fan of the English way of living. I was in Cheltenham. So I was in Cheltenham over in Gloucester area. All right, guys, I'm going to wind it down. Let me shut down the Facebook. All right. Shut it down. Love you guys. Yeah, dude, I'm going to do a cardio, and I will probably do a big topic one this afternoon. So I'm going to do a couple more lives. I'm going to spend over 3 hours a day at lives for a bit. All right, love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.